All right, our assessment process. We have a whole process that comes through afterwards. I want to be clear that we are not a part of the assessment process or decision-making process. We do have play a part as program advisors, the three of us, through the internal review. Once we receive all 500 applications, yes, there's that many. I think the last one is 479. Is that correct? 479 applications in the last one. Last year for the winter one, I think there was over 500 applications. We go through each and every one of them, three of us, and we really consider it an honor because we get to read all the cool things that are going on here in Edmonton. But we review all the applications in all funding programs for eligibility and completeness before the applications are moved forward to assessment. Applications are sometimes sent back to applicants for revisions through a process called revisions requests. That takes place in Smart Simple if updates or additional information are required. So what might that mean? If you have provided a unsupported link in your supporting material, you've given us a Google Drive link, we will send it back for you to remove it and replace some of your supporting material. So we do give you an opportunity to correct any mistakes that are not there. If there's an empty budget and you needed to fill that out, we will send that back. That being said, complete it in the first time, it's going to be a lot easier for everybody and it makes our jobs a little bit easier, but we're happy to go through them. So EAC staff may also reach out directly for specific information or for proof of residency. So that's step one after the deadline passes. Assessment panels. Our assessment panels are multidisciplinary. I'm going to speak to you as applicants really quickly, is that it's important to remember that that is your audience. They may not know your discipline. It's important to be able to explain it, your art, your project, your discipline in a way that anybody can understand it. A really quick and easy way to kind of check this is to show it to a friend who knows nothing about what you do. Have them read through it, okay? Oftentimes I can send people song lyrics and they don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, great, that's not going to work then. So it's a good litmus test. A panel of diverse, knowledgeable members from the community will then review the applications and conduct their assessment. These assessment panels will provide evaluation, context, and recommendations to the EAC on the organization's work and impact. Individual evaluation using an assessment form with a rubric, panel discussions, and information gathering and common understanding. Before I get into this slide, I just want to say, like, we have the honor of facilitating those panels, and we make sure that everything that is said and talked about there is in a fair and equitable way. And as an artist myself, being able to go through that process, I know that our whole team takes a real pride in being able to make sure that each and every artist is treated equally. And a lot of times we make sure, for example, if there's community knowledge that comes into a conversation, we make sure that that stays out of the conversation, and the assessors are really looking at your specific project and application. So assessment criteria for Stream 1, artistic merit. The established artistic practice of the primary applicant will be considered along with the artistic intentions of the proposed project and its goals. So you're going to be talking about the artistic merit of the project, its goals, and the artists themselves. Feasibility, the applicant's ability to successfully carry out the proposed project, considering the suitability of specified activities and plans. Is this possible? Can this artist be able to complete this project as they have stated it in the application? Impact, the impact of the project on the applicant's artistic practice and artistic discipline. So how is this project going to impact you as an artist? How is this project going to have an impact on the artistic discipline? Is this something really exploratory, really new to the community, new to the discipline, something that is really innovative? Alignment, the alignment of the project's goals and outcomes with the individuals and collectives program, and the specific intentions for Stream 1 to support creation, research, development, exploration, and or revision of artist work. So that's why today at the beginning I've mentioned that it's really important to make sure that you know which stream you are in before you start your application. I will say that like sometimes you may find as artists that your specific project might be on the boundary of one or two of these streams. It's important for you to choose one and tell that narrative of each of whatever stream that you choose. Think about where that project is, what state it's in, and is it more in a stream one than it is a stream three? Is it more in a stream two? Would that help advance the overall project? We call that phasing here at ESC, and that phasing can really help the project come to fruition. I know as artists we are often impatient when we get good ideas. To let them percolate sometimes is also a good thing, and to give it time and space can be a good thing. So just think about where your project is at, what phase it's in, and then choose your stream from that position. So assessment criteria for stream two: artistic merit, establish artistic practice of the primary applicant, and all collective members. Okay, so you're going to include some of their resumes, artistic CVs as well, will be considered along with the artistic intentions of the proposed project and its goals. Feasibility, this is going to be your budget and your timeline, and your goals as well. The applicant's ability to successfully carry out the proposed project, considering the suitability of the specified plans, timeline, and budget. Impact, impact of the project on the applicant's artistic practice and artistic discipline, including their artistic growth, as well as any potential impact to the Edmonton arts sector. When we talk about the Edmonton arts sectors, how are you contributing back to the arts community here in Edmonton? It may be within your specific discipline. It may be, but there's a broader picture. There's more of an artistic community aspect to the impact section. For alignment, the alignment of the project's goals and outcomes with the individual collectives program, and specific intentions for Stream 2 to support skill and career development of artists and arts workers. Assessment criteria for Stream 3. All right, artistic merit. The established artistic practice of the primary applicant and all collective members will be considered along with the artistic intentions of the proposed project and its goals. I will mention for all for Stream 2 and 3, the collaborators that are involved in your projects, it's important if they are integral to the project itself. It's important for you to include supporting material for your collaborators as well, so that the assessors can properly assess that artistic merit of the project and the goals. For feasibility, the applicant's ability to successfully carry out the proposed project, considering the suitability of the specified plan, timeline, and budget. Cool, making sure all those ducks are in a row. Those three should be working really well together, okay? For impact, the impact of the project on the applicant's artistic practice and the artistic discipline, as well as any potential impact to the Edmonton arts sector. In cases of projects that have a public component, the impact on the Edmonton public will also be considered. Okay, this is talking about that public presentation. What is your intended? And when you talk about these things within your application, it doesn't have to be like, yes, I am going to change the world and Edmonton will be all the better place because I am in it and my project exists. We have not seen that, don't worry. But it's more so being able to say, what is my intent? What do I hope that the public gets out of this? For alignment, the alignment of the project's goals and outcomes with the individual's collectives program, and the specific intentions for Stream 3 to support production and or presentation, creation directly for production and or presentation, and subsistence for individual and collective creation that are connected to a specific work. So our assessment criteria continue. This is really talking about the impact, and it's just kind of defining what those each of those are. So impact on artists and arts workers, basically the effects and impacts that this project has on individual artists. And this could be through payment of other artists, career development, etc. Impact on the art form and artistic discipline, the effects the project has on a particular artistic discipline. This area of impact is focused on the art form itself, not the art practitioner. Dance is an art form, not the individual dancer. Okay. If you want, I would encourage you also, if you have your phone, you can take a photo of this one. This is an important kind of understanding of what impact of each of these different areas means. Okay, we have impact on the arts sector. The impact of the project on the arts community and arts sector more broadly, primarily measured through facility spaces, tools, equipment, or administrative support provided to artists, contribution to sector knowledge and networks, development of new models or best practices and research, and may display cultural leadership and build reputation. These are kind of a bit new definitions, and we want to make sure that we are clear in how we communicate them. So the last one, the impact on the public, the effects that the project has on the audiences, the Edmonton public, and communities. This may include arts practitioners, but only in the sense of being a member of the audience or Edmonton public. How are grant amounts decided? Funding is not guaranteed, as we all know, but the goal of the funding strategy is to direct available funds where they will have the most impact. Through the assessment process, it's why we have the criteria that we have, because it fits within the strategy of the connections and exchanges funding policy that we have in the beginning that Yetunde mentioned. Through the assessment process, applicants may get fully funded of the amount asked if their project is successful after passing through the assessment panels. So what that means is we don't partially fund. Other funding bodies, AFA or Canada Council, may do partial funding. We don't do that. If you ask for it, you either get it in full, but there is no partially funded project. Assessors arrive at consensus concerning successful projects, which are then approved by the executive. Successful applicants are then contacted afterwards. If a project does get funded, the process takes roughly 12 to 16 weeks before you'd be receiving funds. So sometimes when we do these things, I really like to talk about people about timing, timing your project, timing your applications. You may want to time it in a way that you get two opportunities to get grant funding before your project actually starts. And just to be aware that 12 to 16 weeks, because sometimes our project starts the day after the deadline. That money still isn't going to come for about 12 to 16 weeks. You sign a letter of agreement with the EAC, and funds are direct deposited about a month later. There's a final report required in Smart Simple after the project is done. So why does it take 12 to 16 weeks? We have, like I said, we have about 500, sometimes over 500 applications we go through internally. We put together the assessment panels, and they also have to go through all of those as well. And then we do our discussions. And so gathering all that information, coming to those conclusions takes time and it takes care. And we make sure that that process is done equitably and as fast as we possibly can.